What's up, guys? So, today's gonna be a special day. Well, not a special day, but just a little bit of a longer video, just because I want to talk about something specific, and that's about the people that influence me and what I do day to day, and how I came to this point, and how they changed me at certain points in my life. And I just want to share that with you guys, just so if you guys feel inspired some day along the way, like through watching my videos, you guys can see who actually influenced me, and maybe go and watch them and see if you can take something from them. You don't have to be exactly like who you're looking up to, but you always take the best out of somebody to become your best. You're not going to take all the negative from a person, right? Like it wouldn't make sense, correct? So it doesn't matter who the person is. What matters most is how you look at somebody, see the positive in what they do, and just incorporate that into your routine and try it out. See if that's who you want to be, see if that's what you want to do, and then just start becoming better yourself through the teachings of somebody that you look up to. It's that simple. It's people just take their mentors or whoever they look up to too literal online, like, oh, you like this person or you look up to this person, oh, but he's a bad person, they did this, she did this. It's like, dude, you don't have to admire somebody and completely copy exactly how they are. Like, it doesn't work that way. The best version of yourself will come out of the best things you take from everywhere else that you look into. So with that being said, number one, uh, and I'll go in order because they impacted my life exactly in this order at different points, and it's all been in the last, well, we're in 2024, 3 years. 2021, yeah. So I had a motorcycle accident in 2020. 2021 is when I started kind of like completely changing my life around. So this hand movement kind of bothers the lighting, doesn't it? Huh? Okay, so I'm not gonna do that anymore. The light, I gotta change the light. So first one is David Goggins. David Goggins, I started listening to him at a point when I wanted to do something that I've never done before, just because I really didn't know who I was and I was just going through life. But my mind kind of shifted a little bit once I got into that motorcycle accident. It completely flipped the switch. Like, I sat in the couch and I was like, okay, why did this happen to me? I never thought this would happen to me. It's my fault because it was nobody else's fault. The motorcycle literally just did its own thing, and I just went down. Anyway, and I just knew that after that, which I couldn't walk for a month and a half. But then when I started walking, I'm like, haven't been to the gym, haven't done anything. I have to be productive. I have to not waste any time. I have to get somewhere fast. Fast is not always the right answer, by the way. I just wanted to get results in any area of my life. Because for the past month and a half has been crazy. Like, I wasn't able to move my arms or anything. So David Goggins, I started watching him when I started running. February 13th, I ran my first miles. I'm always gonna repeat these stories throughout my journey, just because they're like very impactful. I started running. I started watching David Goggins, and the things that I learned from him the most was watching his podcast, his interviews, and what he said is that there's one thing he says that is, you whenever you think you're tired and your body can't go no more, you're only 40% done. Meaning you can push past it if you just have the mental capacity. Like, if you build up to push a little bit harder, a little bit more in that 1 second, because that's all it takes, 1 second to flip a switch and take an extra step wherever you're going and whatever you're doing in life. So the main focus of David Goggins in the impact he had on me was the mental toughness. So while running long distance, half marathons, things like that, it's a lot of mental more than physical. Physical, yeah, you can train and everything, but the mental, you gotta train it twice as hard because in those runs, long runs that nobody's there to push you, you have to really push yourself mentally to move your body a little more. Your body will not move by itself, trust me. So he taught me a lot just by reading his book as well. I know one of the things that he always repeats is that he wasn't the smartest guy in the room. He wasn't the smartest in school. He's still not the smartest in the room. He spends hours and hours reading, writing in notebooks. He had to write the paragraphs 100 times in 100 pages, the same exact paragraphs to learn them and to like keep them in his mind in order to memorize it because he just couldn't do it. So just hard work. So work harder at whatever you're gonna do. And for me at that point was running. And I wanted to be the best at running for myself. And I figured, well, so nobody around me kind of like does all this. Maybe that's something I can excel at, like feel good about. So I started listening to him a lot, a lot, a lot. And every single day I would go run, listen to David Goggins, listen to David Goggins. Another thing is one of the regular quotes that we usually listen to from other people is hard work beats talent every day, every time. And it's of course true. If a talented person is not working hard enough, whoever's working, putting in the hard work day in, day out for double the time that the other person is not using their talent, they're gonna catch up and they're gonna surpass them by a lot. That's called wasted potential, obviously. So that's another thing that he taught me. The He has a lot of quotes that really resonate and that make me think. And one of the things that he said was to be true to who you are, like inside. And the most important conversation is the one that you have with yourself. Once he started repeating that over and over again, I started repeating that in my head over and over again. So now I'm like, the, later on, it I found out that you don't have to speak all the time. That's why I'm always like very quiet. That's why it's harder to talk out loud. But in my head, I'm always thinking, always repeating things in my head, like what can I improve on today, what can I improve on tomorrow, what can I do today, what can I do tomorrow, what can I do for the next month. Like it's always a constant conversation with yourself. And it's true, who are you, who do you want to become? Don't It's also, don't regret the past because you don't live in the past, you can only work towards the future. So that's another thing he taught me, to be true to who I am inside, and how do I feel towards my values, and just think about that, and just converse with yourself, realize again what your values are, and just work towards that to become the person that you want to be. One of the Some of the quotes that he has is well, quotes, things that you hear in videos and things like that. It's something, things that replay in my head are do you want to be a bee today? I don't want to say bad words. Or so you want to be normal. And then the other one, uncommon amongst uncommon people. Those three repeat in my head because they're easy to remember. I see the video in my head every single time that it pops in my head. And then another thing that he mentions is that you have to be obsessed. Once you're obsessed with something and you do it consistently, nobody's gonna understand you. Nobody's gonna understand why you're doing the things that you're doing, and they're just gonna be like, "Damn, that's crazy," or "Oh, nah, you're crazy," or like they say something that makes it seem like they're giving themselves excuses not to do something that is hard for them. So when they see you do it, they're like, "Oh, you're crazy," or like, "Ah, that's too much," or like seeing you not weird, just different. Like, okay, cool. and they keep going on with their life. So that's what he means by obsessed. Like, become obsessed with what you do, because people are gonna see you as crazy, and they're not gonna understand what you're doing or why you're doing what you're doing. Um, he's also known for having the world record pull-ups in, I don't remember what year, but he did a 4,030 pull-ups in 17 hours. And in order to get to that world record, he did 66,000 pull-ups. I don't remember the time frame he did 66,000 pull-ups, but I think it was like 9 months or so. I don't quote me, but I do remember reading it. But either way, 4,030 pull-ups in 17 hours. Now that record has been beaten for some time now by a couple people, but still, you're holding a world record. So what does that tell you? And he used to be 300 pounds twice in his life, and he went down, became a Navy SEAL, went through Hell Week 3 times. The same story that, if you know him, you've heard him say 1,000 times before. The one that impressed me the most, when he did his first 100 miles ever, was in 19 hours, and he had no training in running, and he was weighing 205 pounds or 200 pounds, recently out of the Navy. Um, was he out of the Navy already? I think so. But he ran 100 miles in 19 hours, which is insane. Hopefully, not hopefully. I want to do that one day, and I want to work towards that little by little. But that's an insane accomplishment. So now we have a world record, 100 miles in 19 hours, that not everybody does with no training. And then, so all those things that he did just resonated with me. Like, okay, you're not the smartest in the room, okay, but you know you can work hard. You know you can build discipline. You know you have a little bit of discipline in you. So why not try to do this that you know will get you into a better state of mind and help you in the long run, meaning in your future, and it can become a habit, which it did, and it worked well with me, because almost all my jobs, all my life, I woke up at 5 a.m., 4 a.m., 6 a.m. So it was always, I was always up. And but then when I started running and I didn't have to wake up at 4 a.m., I started waking up at 4 a.m. because I had to prove to myself that I had to be better, and I had to get something done for myself, to build discipline, to make it a habit, to work hard towards something. So that's what he taught me. He taught me, the main thing he taught me was mental toughness, the men, the mentality to work hard towards whatever I want to do, and knowing that I can always push a little bit more than what I think is my limit. Because honestly, we're probably never gonna reach our limit, because we can always push. 40% is nothing from what our bodies can really be capable of. So that's David Goggins. Guys, go check him out if you never heard of him. I'm sure you guys have, but if you didn't, he's my number one. How he started changing my life: motorcycle accident, didn't know where my life was going, wasn't even thinking about the future before my motorcycle accident. Flipped the switch, started listening to David Goggins, started looking towards something, finishing 1,000 miles, working hard towards something. So finally my life had like a little bit more of goals, more than just going day by day at work or something. And this next one is who added to the fire. So Gary V, when I started listening to him, the what he taught me the most, like the main thing, is the entrepreneur mindset. So when I started hearing Gary V, I listened to him on a podcast with Grant Cardone, and they were talking about real estate and things like that. But I was more interested in the dynamic that they had. They were talking crazy. Grant Cardone and Gary V, they're maniacs. So started listening more and more to Gary Vee. He talks about entrepreneurship a lot. He talks about social media a lot, because that's There's a currency, he says, nowadays. Attention is the new currency, and the attention is where social media is. So at this point, I wanted to become a tattoo artist, and tattooing could also be introduced into social media. I mean, how else are you going to market yourself, right? Watch a lot of Gary Vee. He taught me how to navigate social media and how to use it for a bigger purpose, which was marketing yourself. He also expands on gratitude and how not to let things get to your head and don't focus on negative things. That was a big thing for me because when I started tattooing, mind you, I was already running at this point. I was already listening to David Goggins at this point, so I wanted to work hard. So I was doing overnights practicing tattooing, teaching myself through YouTube how to tattoo, bought all the equipment just to teach myself how to tattoo, just because I wanted to be an entrepreneur, have my own business, build my name, be my own boss. And what it, I blew up, a TikTok blew up on my TikTok account, and blew up. It went viral for me. So that's a thing. It goes viral for you, meaning you go viral for who you are. So one of my TikToks went viral. It got 269,000 views, which is insane. I still can't even process it because that number now seems like nothing compared to what everybody else gets. But 269,000 views meant nothing to me, but the comments, it had over 600, I don't even remember. It had a lot of comments, and it was the most toxic thing, um to my mind, ever. People telling you stop tattooing, you're not ready, you're trash, what are you doing, no way. And that doesn't even come close to every other comment that it was on that video. And it took Gary to a lot of Gary podcasts and like interviews for me to be like, this is normal in social media. People that are not doing anything with their lives and sitting on a computer screen or a phone screen will say anything to get you out of your dreams ASAP, because they're not doing anything, and it's easier to judge somebody through a screen than going outside and running 8 miles, then buying everything online and starting to teach yourself how to tattoo. It's much easier than that to sit here and go on somebody's profile and be like, he just bought a Lambo. You're so materialistic. People always do that. Why? It's because it's easy. That's great. I'm gonna be more successful than you because I know where I'm going, and you're just sitting there doing nothing with your life. Anyway, it took maybe a couple of days to like get over the all these comments, like super negative, because there was always good comments, but obviously negative is louder than positive. So um Gary thinks also, like, he taught me that it doesn't have to be this or that, it can be this and that. So there's that positive and that negative. It's There's two sides to a story, two sides to everything. So you don't have to always be like, or this or this or this. Just, it's this and that's it. And so know that you're gonna have negative things come your way and positive things come your way. Just do what you gotta do, and always be grateful for what you have, because you got yourself there, and nobody can take away all the hard work that you've put in to get to where you are. So Gary Vee's, uh, just the way he is, the way that he's built himself, the way that he's built his companies and everything that he does, I became a fan. And just how he became an entrepreneur, and his story of like how he used to sell baseball cards when he was a kid, became a mindset that I wanted to have. Like, he owns this, he owns that, he owns this, he created this, he has this idea, he has that idea. I'm like, I have a lot of ideas. I want to be my own boss. I want to own this one day. I want to create a community that helps me build everything I want to build, because it's not a small task and you can never do everything by yourself ever. It's, you can get to a certain point by yourself because it's mindset and knowing your goals, but other than that, the world is big, your goals are way bigger than you. Always your purpose has to be bigger than you, so you're always going to need help. It's not going to be you by yourself. So what did I do with the influence that Gary presented me with? I started using social platforms differently. I got addicted to wanting to post more content. So in every platform, YouTube. Um, when I was tattooing, I wasn't doing YouTube yet. I didn't know I want to be like a full on content creator for YouTube. I just wanted to tattoo and finish my 1,000 miles and go about my life in my 9 to 5 for now. And I was just posting on TikTok and on Instagram and doing my appointments here and there, teaching myself. But then, as I got more into social media, while being on social media, while seeing the negative comments on TikTok, I was like, man, why is there so much negativity? Like, what? Where's the positivity? Where's the inspiration? Where's the want to show people that they could do more than just sit there and be negative towards other people that are trying to better themselves? So I started wanting to inspire others to do more through social media. I became more self aware of who I was and who I want to become. Going back to what I just said, I want to own something. I want to create my brand. I want to create a name for myself. I want to create community. I want to be all these things. And they align with everything that he's doing. He's an entrepreneur. So there's a lot that I can gain from listening to him, watching him. And day by day, I got more and more inspired. So he taught me how to be more self aware. I realized that I wanted not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5x. I wanted 100x more times in, like, I wanted 100 times more out of my life than what I was doing already. So that's why I chose him. Like, that's how I leveled up at that moment in my life. Accident, David Goggins, running, accomplishing goals, but still stuck in the day by day kind of mentality with just long term goals for 1 year, 2 years, and then keep going like that. Met Gary Vee, went to his conference, realized in his conference, VCon 2022, that I really wanted to do 100x more in life than what I was already doing. Automatically said, I can't just do tattooing. I have to become a full on entrepreneur. How do I start a small business? How do I get financially free? Uh, like, time, how do I get my free time in the future? How do I build myself to be the person that I need to be, not who I am, because I was just throwing goals in there and trying to finish them. So I just became self aware of everything around me, what conversation I was having, who I wanted to inspire, what I wanted to do, and it just flipped. I stopped tattooing, started looking for other incomes, started to learn other things, because at this point I was still in like a little kid's head. Like, I was trying to process what is life, what is social media, why is life the same as everybody else's every single day, and there's nothing else going on. Like, so I literally, when I met Gary Vee, I dug into social media so heavy. Podcast, interviews, seeing people's life through social media. And of course, social media is not always what it seems, but as you see the success people have, you don't see the hard work also. Some people go viral, some people get money from going viral, but they don't last. But the people that build the true entrepreneurs, the people that build on social media, and you look at them, the hard work that they put in is years of hard work. And even if it's like, oh, but 3 years is nothing, okay, well, maybe if it's nothing, it takes 3 years, why aren't you doing it? And in those 3 years is day in, day out, 20, 16 hours a day, 18 hours a day, 24 hours a day, whatever they put in, but they're putting in way more work than you are sitting on the couch commenting on negative people's posts. So as I dug deeper and deeper and deeper into social media, I started finding out a lot more entrepreneurs, a lot of more content creators, um, and a lot more influence, to be honest. And it brings me back to what I usually say nowadays is like, if there's nobody around you motivating you, look up online. Not look up online, but look online at other people that you can find inspiration from and that you can take the positive from and put it into your own like headspace and start evolving from there. You don't have to copy everything, you don't have to copy the negative things that some people do, but just take positive, what aligns with your values, and what you can grab and throw into your big picture and be like, okay, this is something I can fit in my framework to become the person that I want to become or to where I want to get. So that's Gary Vee. Now the last one, Andrew Tate, which is obviously super controversial, and a lot of people see it as the negative side is jail time. Uh, he's a influencer for kids and things like that, and there's a whole negative side as to who this guy is. Now, I just talked about grabbing the positive out of somebody to influence you into becoming who you are, right? So, the main focus on Andrew Tate, become a better man overall. That's what he taught me. So, at this point, I was trying to, I knew David Goggins, I knew Gary Vee, and I wanted to start my business. I wanted to uh, learn more financial um, things. I wanted to become just smarter overall. I need to practice more English words. I need to learn to speak a little bit faster, things like that. So I wanted to become somebody better. When Andrew Tate came out, I was like, there's no way. This guy acts exactly how I would want to act. Manly, in shape, not over huge in physique. He responds fast. He always knows what to say, and just the way he just that. All in all, it's just the attitude that he had as a person. I was like, damn, that's crazy. So I started watching. He went viral, so obviously I started watching everything he was doing. So the first thing that I want to mention is that at that point, before Andrew Tate and all this stuff, I was stuck at a point where I was always saying, "Yeah, we're all depressed. I'm depressed. He's depressed. She's depressed. We're all depressed." I was still working at a 9 to 5, and I was already very annoyed of having the same conversations every day. And again, I mention this a lot because they're pivotal points in my life after my accident, of course, I became a brand new person after my accident. And tired of always having the same conversations, only negative talk every single time. And the times I was trying to be positive when talking to people, it's just like in that moment, it nothing nothing came out of just ex- exposing my energy towards other people because they weren't doing the same thing back. Like nobody would talk about big ideas or something, just agree and yeah, but everybody's still doing the same thing. And no, so it would be the camera cut off, but it would be so aggravating. Always telling people motivating stuff, like just because you're like super motivated and you want to be inspirational and you want people to change their life, but not everybody wants to change their life. And now I know that. Now I know that I shouldn't be exposing too much of my energy into people that don't want to change, or that they show me continuously that they don't want to change. Because I've tried, honestly, and it gets really draining into your mind. So my my motivated energy, my inner peace was really bothered and really exhausted, and I wanted to get out of that atmosphere. So Andrew Tate, he when I was using the word depression, depressed a lot, and negative a lot, and negative atmosphere, and I don't want to do this anymore, he, like, by him just repeating the sentences of depression doesn't exist, you can feel depressed but you are not depressed, all like it's all in your head, it's crap. You He just kept repeating that depression is not real, you just feel depressed, but it's just something that happens inside your head, but you can work to taking that out. And just slowly but surely, I literally took out the word depression and depressed out of my vocabulary, like completely. I don't say that. I'm saying it now because I'm explaining it to you guys. I don't say the word depression or depressed at all anymore. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear no negative stuff. I don't want to hear. I don't have pointless conversations. I don't want to have pointless conversations. I start getting irritated if I'm talking about things that don't involve any type of like positive points toward my future. Don't talk to me about random crap. I don't want to talk about girls. I don't want to talk about going out to the club. I don't want to know about what drugs you're doing, bro. Like, it's crazy how much time people waste on dumb stuff, man. It's nuts. So anyway, oh, he also told me he was he talked about, so this is what he talked about first, and then I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing with the influence that he has given me. So he trains hard every day. He says become unstoppable. Train hard every day. If you're not sore, if you're not if I train a lot, I know when I overtrain and when I don't overtrain. So I kind of know. When he says train every day, I train every day. I train as much as I can. Well, it gets to a point where you're like, okay, you need a kind of a rest and know when to take rest. That's the thing. Get the positive things out of what people say, apply them, and if they work, they work, and if they don't, toss them out and don't get the negative stuff. It's simple, guys. Look up to somebody, take the positive stuff, do it, and if it doesn't work, push it away. It's that easy. Stop being negative, man. Stop reading comments on other posts. That's another thing I used to do. Stop commenting on stuff. I try not to comment on anything anymore. I don't remember the last time I comment only when I feel strongly about something and it's positive. Like if somebody's inspired me or something, I'll comment positive. But if I find myself typing now, I don't comment on anything. I'm like, I'm sorry, God, delete, go back, screw the post, scroll down. It's just a matter of habit. It's just a matter of having that conversation with yourself and saying, okay, enough is enough. It's all practice of discipline every single day. And this is why I'm posting every day my goals and achieving my goal for this year. And it'll trickle down into every one of my goals throughout every single year. And I want you guys to understand that as well. Like, I do this for motivation, yes, everyday motivation, and inspiration, inspire to become better in the future whenever you see this, and just become a better version of yourself. Is not is for me, but it's for you guys as well. So yeah, don't take the negative from me. I hope I never give negative, but you know, um, so train every day, train hard every day, become unstoppable, become wealthy to support your family, and which is the biggest role as a man. And I'm like, so women and men have roles. We're not gonna get into the misogyny of Andrew Tate, but because I don't believe he is that. It's just the word that everybody uses for him. The negative side uses for him. But becoming wealthy to support your family as a man, why wouldn't you want to do that? Why wouldn't you want to become the king of your household? Why wouldn't you want to support everybody you love, not having to worry about money, which is the thing that everybody stresses about? It is the thing that everybody is always lacking in their life. Money, 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 bills, bills, bills. Like, it's so exhausting to think about your next bills. It's always so. Become wealthy. I'm like, wealthy, how do I become wealthy? That's crazy. I don't even have $10,000 in my bank account. So you start thinking, you're like, okay, I have to become more financially independent. I have to become smarter in financial like advice. I have to get my time back. I have to get my time back so I can spend my time learning about how to become wealthier. I need more time to become the entrepreneur that I want to be. I need more time to work hard at the things that I need to build. I have to build an empire. I have to conquer the world. That's another word, conquer. Like, I want to conquer the world. I want to conquer my own world and create my empire. It's day by day. It's step by step. But I do believe in powerful energies, and energy that you put out, it comes back to you twice as much. So it's just a matter of believing in something else, and a matter of really wanting to express that energy. So another thing, be fearless. I i don't fear anything. The only thing I fear is maybe some animals, things that we don't know, because we don't know. I don't know how animals are gonna react. So it's just an instinct of like, oh, it's gonna kill me. And things that I fear are just things that any normal person, it's just something that triggers in my body. It's not like, oh, I'm scared of that. No, it's just a reaction of your body releasing a constant anxious feeling in that moment, because we don't know what the result of that is gonna be. It's hard to explain, but I don't fear anything. I never had anxiety. I never had a panic attack. I'm just sitting here like, okay, what's my next move? Okay, I gotta do this. I gotta do that. I gotta do this. I need to become that. Okay, and let's get to work. But I've never sat there and cut myself into pieces. It's it. I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird. But okay, so he also added to the fire of me believing in God more. He talks about God more now after he went to jail than before. But still, he's somebody I look up to. He's somebody I learn from, like learn how to be a man from, and it honestly made me start believing even more in God. I started believing in God a little bit after my accident. Started praying. I prayed for a bunch of my friends. It's real. It's sorry, but that's what I want to believe in, and that's what really pushes me to become better whenever I mess up. I didn't run that mile, or I didn't work out that day. I'm like, okay. Or when something bad happens to me, I take full accountability now. Gary V thing, take accountability. I take accountability. All these three people that I'm mentioning taught me everything that I needed and that I use now every single day to become the person that I want to become and I must become. Just so somebody in the future can depend on me, just so I can help somebody. And I want to just truly show people that they could do way more than that life of nothingness that is just repeatedly the same thing day by day. But let's not get too off track with this. He added to a fire in God. He showed me of what's possible when you reach a certain level of life. Going back to the wealth thing, once you become wealthy to a certain point, or you become of influence to a certain point, life starts changing a little bit. So again, the positive, not the negative. um Overall character and how I want to be as a man, attitude. So his attitude, just of how he acts, even if in 5 years we find out that he's a fraud and he is um just a puppet and he's a nobody and he was lying the whole time, there's no proof that he's lying. You're seeing everything right here online, on social media, on. So if it's inspiring people like me, a nobody, to be something better, to inspire more people, to become the best version of myself, why would you take the negative from a person like that and not the positive, which is way better for the world? Like, does it make sense or does it not make sense? So what I'm doing with the influence of Andrew Tate, um, I'm still going harder in training. I train every day. I try to run every day. um, I don't overtrain. No need to do that. I know when I have to rest up a little bit. I use self awareness to start carving my way deeper into entrepreneurship. So, started my small business, the Etsy shop that I talk about, and you guys know, go grab your shirts if you want for the gym or for running or for to wear comfortably at home. I'm doing YouTube. I want to become a full time YouTuber just because I have a lot of ideas, and ideas or titles for videos or things come easy to me, and storytelling and being creative. But I'm just me. Like I said, when you want to build an empire, you need more people. Right now, it's just me. But my ultimate goal is to turn this YouTube channel into a massive name and build my brand off of it and build everything I want to build through it. Like, that's another person I would look up to is Mr. Beast as a person, as creative mind, but that's another story. So that's self awareness. So every single day, I think I have that conversation with myself, David Goggins, and I'm like, okay, what do I need to do today? Is your day planned? Let's get to it. Um, let's see. And yeah, so I never stop thinking about what I want out of life, day in and day out, which is basically true. It's Sunday 7 p.m. and I'm thinking about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Every night I literally say I am so excited for the workout tomorrow. I am so excited to go run 5, 6, 7, 8 miles tomorrow. I can't wait for the next free time I have to work on my Etsy shop. I can't wait to upload my next YouTube video so somebody can watch and one day be inspired. Because right now, 2 viewers, thank you, but that's the ultimate thing, man. And so something in common I wrote here that all three taught me is that nobody cares about you, just do it. So nobody really cares what you're doing. Um, you're gonna be judged at points, and not everybody's gonna agree with everything you have to say. But at the end of the day, if somebody sees you across the street running 8 miles, they're gonna think you're just running. They don't know what mile you're in. They don't know what you're doing. They don't know if you're recording. They don't know what you're listening to. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares that you're grabbing a camera and taking a selfie. Taking a selfie is so normal nowadays. Just take the selfie. Tell your story. So nobody cares. Just do it. If you want to reach your goals, you just have to start right now. And one quote that I've heard a lot lately, and I heard Alex Ramosi say it, then Williamson say it from Modern Wisdom. Don't be mad at the results you didn't get from the work you didn't put in. Very self-explanatory. Don't be mad at the result you didn't get from the work you didn't put in. If you're sitting in the couch typing negative comments against somebody that's doing better than you, what kind of results do you expect? Zero. The other guy is still gonna be doing better than you. You're never gonna reach his level, and you're just like over exerting your brain into like oblivion of hell that you're you're just gonna stay there, bro. So that's all for today. I hope the things kind of made sense a little bit. I know it was a long video, but I just wanted to tell you guys who influenced my life the most at pivotal times, back to back. And this is why I'm here today doing what I do. David Goggins, mental toughness, Gary Vee, entrepreneur mindset, and Andrew Tate, become a better man overall. Like, I get the most positive things from people. I train them into myself, and I'm like, who do I want to become? What can I take from this person? Can I apply this into my life? And can this make me a better person overall, and the person that people can look up to in the future? And you go from there. So let's leave it at that. I'm gonna go run 3, 4, or 5 miles today. Today's not a long distance day, but I did have my workout at 4 in the morning, 4:35. No, 5 in the morning. The gym opened at 5. So I had my workout at 5 in the morning. I really wanted to make this video for you guys, just so you guys can go and look them up, and also maybe get inspiration from somewhere else other than just my accomplishing of goals in this channel. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe,